From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Morning Edition.
Thanks for starting your day with us. Today is Wednesday, December 3rd. Let's open up the windows, let the day in, and get this show on the road.
Just heard like the intercom, everybody was just running and screaming and talking about, oh, there's an active shooter, there's an active shooter.
A shooting on a school campus in San Francisco. One student hurt, a suspect arrested, and a community traumatized. Reaction from students and parents and how the school district handled this scary situation.
We had to help like 8 people off the bus. We had to break the windows to get the people out. It was really scary.
A transit bus smashes into an auto shop in Oakland. The dramatic video and the workers who sprang into action to help those who were hurt.
My wife sent me the Instagram post announcing his passing, and it brought tears to my eyes a little bit.
He embodied the spirit of San Francisco. We look back at the legacy of Claude the albino alligator, who charmed the hearts of millions of people who came to see him.
To be treated the way we want to be treated. So, I mean, that's the best thing in life, right?
And embodying the spirit of generosity this holiday season, meet the Bay Area woman who's been helping her neighbors for decades and inspiring others to do the same.
All right, let's dive into the forecast and check what's going on as we head outside this early morning. Now, just like yesterday, we're waking up to 40s all throughout the Bay Area. Later into this afternoon, our daytime highs are going to top off just like yesterday, over into the 60s. Now, this is the trend as we really head into the next couple days. Diving into this weekend, we're going to see small day-to-day changes. It'll get a little bit breezier into the evening hours tonight with winds pushing offshore. But other than that, things stay relatively calm for us here in the Bay Area. There's a few things the National Weather Service has issued for us here in the Bay. For example, another day of areas like Half Moon Bay all the way up into Pacifica dealing with a beach hazard statement. We also have coastal flood advisories in effect right now, too. We're going to talk more about that and how that can impact that morning and afternoon commute. For now, back to you.
All right, thank you for that, Jess. Today, the Santa Clara County District Attorney will announce the charges against the suspect in the Black Friday shooting at Valley Fair Mall. Now, though the suspect is a teenager, the DA may try him as an adult. The hearing comes as the district attorney called the shooting an act of terrorism. Veronica Macias is live at Santa Clara County Juvenile Hall this morning with what we can expect today. Veronica, good morning.
Good morning, Max. You know, the night of the shooting on Black Friday at the mall, I was able to talk to some shoppers who were visibly shaken. A teenage girl who had been crying, who had hid under a table when the shooting happened. Another employee of Starbucks who said he and others hid in the bathroom. These 2 teenagers calling their parents saying, please come pick us up immediately. There's been a shooting. So with all of this, clearly San Jose's DA, Jeff Rosen, now considering whether or not to move this case over to adult court. And here's what we know. We all remember the scene from Thanksgiving or the day after on Black Friday. So many people who had been shopping that day. The suspect, just 17 years old, but already on probation for concealed weapons violations. Because of his age, he has not been named here, but is believed to be in a gang. 3 people were hit in the barrage of bullets, including the target of the attack, 2 innocent victims, a woman and a 16-year-old girl. And because of the severity of the charges, something that you don't see in juvenile court, the DA has decided to make today's court appearance open to the public. Already, San Jose's mayor has voiced a need to change the juvenile court system.
I'm afraid that if we don't change the way our system holds young repeat offenders accountable, we may be providing a perverse incentive for gangs to recruit children at younger and younger ages.
And Max, there's also a 21-year-old woman who is facing some charges here. She was pushing a stroller believed to be with the suspect the day of the shooting. She's believed to be the girlfriend of the suspect's brother. So both of them will be in court later today. And Max, it'll almost be exactly a year in February on Valentine's Day that there was another teenager, of course, killed in a stabbing right across the way over in Santana Row. So a lot of questions about whether some changes here in the court system.
A lot of eyes will be on this one. Veronica Macias, thank you for that reporting. We'll check in a little bit with you. To San Francisco now, where San Francisco Unified says they will have extra support staff at Burton High School today. This move comes after a student was shot at the school yesterday. One suspect is in custody. The victim is expected to be okay. Police were called to the Portola campus just after noon. That's where they found one teenager who'd been shot in the leg. Police say the suspect took off before they got there, but they were able to track him down less than 2 miles away in the Bayview neighborhood. Police say they found a gun during the arrest. They have not confirmed whether the suspect was a student at the high school or not. We'll have more details in our next half hour. San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie is celebrating a big political win this morning. The Board of Supervisors approved his family zoning plan with a 7-4 vote. This will allow taller, denser housing in long-time, low-rise neighborhoods on the city's north and west sides. The change could open the door for tens of thousands of new housing units in areas like the Sunset, Richmond, and Marina, which all have blocked big housing projects for decades. Supporters say adding more apartments and condos in those so-called quieter parts of the city will ease San Francisco's housing shortage and take pressure off rents. But opponents insist the plan threatens the small neighborhood feel and does not guarantee enough affordable units. Mayor Lurie pitched the rezoning as critical to meeting a state order to plan for about 82,000 new housing units by 2031. If they didn't, they'd risk losing housing funds and local control over what gets built here. Moving around the Bay now for headlines in your community, we'll begin in the South Bay. Right now, investigators are trying to figure out what caused a fiery crash that killed a child and another person on Highway 87 in San Jose. The wreck shut down northbound lanes for several hours on Tuesday. 4 cars collided just before 11 o'clock in the morning on Highway 87, just north of Kirtner. 2 Teslas and a Lexus burst into flames, black smoke billowing out of the crash site there. A 4th car was able to drive away after the impact. Crews rushed 2 survivors to the hospital, but this morning we have not received an update on their conditions.
A chain of events in terms of which started which, I can't say. Upon my arrival, a lot of smoke obscuring the situation initially, but when I did gain visual, all 3 involved in fire.
Officials say this could take days to determine how the deadly chain reaction crash started. In the East Bay, Oakland school leaders are set to start major discussions surrounding crucial school cuts today. The district needs to close a $100 million budget gap. Everything is on the table at this point, including layoffs and restructuring at the central office. The board has until December 10th to vote on a package that will address the situation. Today, an animal activist from Berkeley learns her sentence after she admitted to stealing 4 chickens from a Sonoma County poultry farm. Zoe Rosenberg is a part of the animal activist group Direct Action Everywhere, which is known for its high-profile demonstrations. The group released video of her taking the chickens from Petaluma Poultry in 2023. She faces a maximum sentence of more than 4 years in jail, and on conspiracy and trespassing charges, prosecutors are asking for 6 months. Well, if you grew up in the Bay Area, there is a good chance that you met one of San Francisco's most famous animals on a school field trip. Claude, the beloved albino alligator at the California Academy of Sciences, has died at 30 years old. Claude hatched in 1995 at a Louisiana alligator farm and moved into the swamp at Cal Academy back in 2008, quickly becoming the museum's unofficial mascot. He just celebrated a big 30th Hatch Day in September, which drew crowds of fans from all over the place who'd grown up visiting him. Amanda Harry spoke with visitors about what Claude meant to them and tells us more about why his loss actually hits a lot of Bay Area families hard.
A San Francisco icon, gone but not forgotten.
He's always been a symbol of San Francisco.
An entire wall of California Academy of Sciences gift store dedicated to Claude merchandise. Everything from magnets to stuffed toys. Claire Buckley picked up a Claude sweatshirt to remember him. She moved from Ireland to San Francisco in 1995, the same year Claude was born. She always felt a connection with the albino alligator and wanted to share her love for him with others.
Well, my friend Chris came from Cleveland, Ohio, and I wanted him to see Claude.
That's why they came to the museum on Tuesday.
But we were searching everywhere for him, and then we found out that he died today.
Yeah, very sad.
And they weren't the only ones who were sad. People stopped by all afternoon to remember Claude. The alligator captured the hearts of everyone who met him. Back in September, Cal Academy celebrated his 30th birthday. Happy birthday to you. More than 1,000 people turned out. He even received a specially made birthday cake of fish and ice. Ali Lardenois lives just across the street. She's a member of the museum and would come by all the time to see Claude, always taking a picture to send to friends.
Amazing. Incredible. So beautiful. We love Claude. It's really a sad day.
She says she felt emotional when she learned he died.
My wife sent me the Instagram post announcing his passing, and it brought tears to my eyes a little bit.
In recent weeks, Claude's appetite waned. He was moved out of his enclosure to undergo treatment for a suspected infection. A full exam and necropsy will be conducted at UC Davis to determine a cause of death. Buckley says Claude will be missed, and he was the ideal representative for the city he called home.
I think it's very perfect how he was an albino animal for San Francisco, because San Francisco prides itself on being different and accepting anyone who's different. So he was the perfect animal for San Francisco, actually.
The Cal Academy of Sciences says they are going to hold a public memorial sometime in the near future for Claude. It is 6:11 on this Wednesday morning. Families in shock as we learn more about the children killed in the mass shooting at a Stockton birthday party. We'll have the latest on this investigation when we come back. And dramatic video shows the transit bus that smashed into an Oakland business. Updates on the injuries as crews begin patching up the damage there in Alameda County. And here's a live look outside of the San Francisco skyline before we head to break. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We are watching live video from our many monitors that bring us headlines from across the globe. We begin in Stockton, where the family of an 8-year-old girl killed in the mass shooting at a child's birthday party is now sharing more about their young girl. Journey Rose Rayo Tutar Guerrero was one of 4 people killed in Saturday night's mass shooting, along with 2 other children and a 21-year-old. Her family says Journey Rose loved art, baking, and gymnastics, and always pushed people around her to be their best. At Aspire Apex Academy, parents and grandparents say they are still trying to process the loss of a little girl who should have been back in the classroom this week.
Is your daughter friends with Maya?
Yeah, she stayed home from school today. They were gonna, let the kids know, so I didn't even tell her yet or let her know, because it's like, how do you explain to them,
Investigators say the number of people hurt in this shooting is now 13. That's up from 11 initially, as they have found 2 more victims. The suspect or suspects are still on the run. The FBI has a $50,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest. The Trump administration is threatening to withhold SNAP funding from California and other Democrat-led states unless they turn over information on the immigration status of SNAP recipients. The Agriculture Department says the data is needed to weed out waste, fraud, and abuse. A coalition of Democratic states have sued, arguing the government's demand violates privacy law. Your community station was out at Bay Area food banks on Giving Tuesday as they were busy preparing food for families in need this holiday season. And we'd like to thank all of the generous donors who took their time to help our neighbors in need. Even just $1 went as far as providing 6 meals at some food banks. But the need for donations does continue and will throughout the holiday season. We're lucky to have some incredible organizations stepping up to fill the need. I had the chance to see one of many big donations to Second Harvest of Silicon Valley. We are here at Second Harvest of Silicon Valley. They are working hard to fight food insecurity in our community and beyond. They serve 500,000 people a month across San Mateo and Santa Clara counties, and they're able to make such a big difference thanks to generous donations from groups and people and organizations like the Silicon Valley Turkey Trot. So I'm joined now, and you guys have a $186,000 donation. Laura, tell me about what went into raising this money.
Oh, absolutely. The Silicon Valley Turkey Trot is America's largest Thanksgiving Day race. Every year, we gather more than 20,000 community members in the spirit of gratitude to come together, have fun, and raise funds for wonderful organizations like Second Harvest Silicon Valley.
You're making a big difference in your backyard. How good does that feel?
Oh, it's wonderful, and we are thrilled to be able to present this funding and these funds raised by our community to Second Harvest this year.
Let's bring in Leslie Baccio, the CEO of Second Harvest. Leslie, $186,000. That means a lot of meals, doesn't it?
Absolutely. For every dollar donated, we can provide enough food for 2 meals. And this is such a special event that truly shows the power of community and what everybody can make possible when we come together.
You know, I ran this last year, and I felt good knowing I was making a difference, too. So thank you for everything you guys do in our community. And if you'd like to help out, head to kpix.com/give or scan the QR code on your screen. Side now on this Wednesday morning here, a beautiful shot from Sutro Tower looking off at the San Francisco skyline, just twinkling as we wait for the sun to rise. We'd like to thank some of our viewers who sent in some photos of the beautiful sunset last night. These shots are views from San Martin and from San Francisco. Jess, these are just like night after night, we're seeing these beautiful sunsets.
I know, it's been the perfect amount of partly cloudy skies to get these beautiful sights too. You see a little bit of that pink, that blue, that purple. We should see a repeat of that again tonight. So if you have any FOMO right now, fear of missing out, no worries. We're going to see another beautiful one right around the corner. But this is what we're waking up to. Partly cloudy skies already this morning, 40s in the forecast later into this afternoon. It's similar to yesterday. We have another day of 60s, anywhere from the Santa Clara Valley all the way off into the East Bay. Let's actually zoom all the way into places like Antioch, all the way down into Livermore. Now, throughout this afternoon, it's relatively calm in these communities, but it's important to note that places along the coast or even close to Oakland, San Francisco, all along our Baymouth shoreline, as we head into the afternoon hours today, there's still a chance of coastal flooding, and we're monitoring that closely all the way down to places like Santa Cruz and Monterey, too. Reason being, king tides have returned, and that's the case each day as we head into this week's forecast until Sunday. We're going to monitor that closely for our low-lying communities, especially if you commute along those areas. Another day of those beach hazard statements. We've been seeing some choppy waters along the coast, so be very careful out there, too. We're also sitting in the low 60s along our coastline, so personal preference, not the biggest fan of heading into the water if it's that cold anyways. Here's what's happening for us as we head outside throughout the next couple days. A couple things to mention. Over the weekend, our air quality wasn't the best. It's Wednesday now. We're starting to see some improvements in the forecast, but we're still kind of flirting in between that good and moderate forecast widespread throughout the Bay. So that's going to vary as we head into the afternoon hours today, but we'll continue to monitor that closely here in the Weather Center. Taking a look at the next 7 days, we have 60s and 50s kind of flirting back and forth with each other each day. Sunnier skies on tap for us, though, heading into Friday and Saturday to kick off this weekend. Partly cloudy skies with that morning fog returning into early next week. Really, it's a mild forecast for us throughout the Bay Area. Not a drop of rain in sight throughout the next 7 days. Temperatures are right around average, at least along the Bay. A little bit below average for some of our inland spots. Of course, upper 50s and lower 60s. It's chilly during this time of year, but this is also the time of year where our temperatures start becoming a little bit more hand in hand, unlike summer months where we're sitting in the triple digits off into our inland spots with 60s along the coast. So a little bit different for this time of year. We'll have more on that coming up in a bit, Max.
All right, thank you for that, Jess. Let's take a look at the roadways as we head out the door on this Wednesday morning. We'll start near the San Mateo Bridge on westbound 92. There's a car fire that is affecting the right lane. Not too much of a delay because of this incident right now, but just be aware of that as you head out the door. And if you are out there, give emergency crews plenty of space as you make your way across the span. As we get closer into this city, there also is a crash on southbound 101, just north of Cesar Chavez Street. The second lane from the left is blocked, so expect delays as you head up into the city as well. In San Leandro, northbound 880 just south of Davis Street, another crash to be aware of, so make sure to take it slow out there. Let's give you a live look now at the Bay Bridge. The usual bumper to bumper at the maze. The metering lights are on. The bridge is getting packed as you head into San Francisco. That's a look at your morning commute. 6:21 on this Wednesday morning. He's been on the Niners for about a month, but he's been a game changer on the defensive side of the ball. Vern will explain, coming up in our Red and Gold report. The 49ers have the week off, but the defense has some real momentum entering this bye week. Vern Glenn has more in this morning's Red and Gold report.
This is the Audi Red and Gold report.
The 49ers are able to enjoy their bye week a lot more following that big win in Cleveland. After holding its last two opponents to single-digit point totals, the defense is hitting its stride at just the right time. Clelin Ferrell has been a saving grace for the defensive line after sacking Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders twice. His season total is 4 in just as many games. The 49ers signed the veteran pass rusher just over a month ago, and he's already the team's co-leader for sacks.
You weren't with this team a month ago. How surreal is it to be contributing the way that you are?
It's about just staying ready. You know, you never know how things are going to turn out, and what a crazy year, but I'm so blessed just to be here. It can be tough when a player coming in mid-season, but I just got a great organization behind me, man, so that's all it really is. Just trying to listen to my coach and play hard.
With the Red and Gold Report, I'm Vern Glenn.
6:26 on this Wednesday morning. A scary situation at a San Francisco high school after a student was shot on campus. How students and parents reacted. And the latest on the investigation. And see why Marin County is making a big change in how new homes and buildings can be built. How it's meant to help with fire danger.
From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Morning Edition.
Let's start this half hour with the prettiest picture of the newscast so far. This live look is of the San Francisco skyline and the sunrise. This is from the camera looking from the top of Mark Hopkins, looking south, I believe. Jessica Birch, tell us about the weather. It's hard to even have words for that.
I know, I don't even want to stop looking at that. It's stunning, and it reminds me so much of last night's sunset too. Beautiful colors in the sky for all of us to witness. This is just an art piece in the making. Here's what's happening as we head outside this morning though. Off to a cool and chilly start to match up with those beautiful skies all around the Bay Area. We're sitting in the 40s and 50s. Better yet, let's just zoom all the way into places like San Jose, all the way over into Los Gatos, up into Fremont, off into the East Bay we go. It's very cool out there right now, but we are going to warm up more into this afternoon. Now, we still have that beach hazard statement along the coast, coastal flood advisory all along the mouth of the bay, and that's something that we're going to dive into a little bit more coming up in just a bit. Heading into this afternoon, daytime highs jump right back up into the 60s, so similar to yesterday's forecast. Not too much of a change as we head into the next couple days. Partly cloudy skies are going to give us these beautiful contrasts, of course, in the sky when it comes to these sunrises and sunsets. And we're going to be holding on tight to 60s each day for our daytime highs. More on that coming up in a bit. For now, back to you.
All right, thank you for that, Jess. We begin now in San Francisco, where a shooting at Burton High School left students running for cover. Police were called to a campus in the Portola neighborhood just after noon on Tuesday. One student was hurt, but is expected to be okay. Officers arrested a suspect less than 2 miles from the school. Kelsey Thorud has more on the shooting and this scary experience for students and parents.
And then I just heard like the intercom, and everybody was just running and screaming and talking about, oh, there's an active shooter, there's an active shooter.
Terrifying moments for students at Burton High School Tuesday afternoon after school officials say a student was shot by another juvenile.
I called my mom as soon as I got into my advisory class, and I was texting her that I love her and stuff because I was really scared, and then I started crying.
Students told us the shooting happened during their lunch period when many were in the cafeteria eating.
I was like really confused, and I was like, what's happening? I tried to get to the advisory, but it was closed.
Bridget Paris Hernandez told me school officials came over the intercom telling students to get to their classrooms. She says everyone just started running.
I just heard a lot of things, a lot of voices and noises. I don't know, I saw a boy crying. It was really scary.
According to police, the shooting happened just after noon on campus. The victim was shot in the leg and taken to the hospital where they are now in stable condition. Police say the suspect took off running but was later tracked down and arrested.
Officers from our Crime Gun Investigation Center quickly identified the juvenile male suspect and took him into custody at the 1400 block of Shafter Avenue a short time ago. The officers also recovered a firearm during the arrest.
Police could not yet say whether or not the suspect was a student at the school. Parents were alerted of the incident via text message, and while classes continued after the lockdown was lifted, many parents opted to come pick up their kids.
So what happened in the school, I don't know, just like had to get my daughters out.
A lot of things been happening. See what happened in Stockton and other places in the Bay Area already.
Superintendent Dr. Maria Sue thanks students and staff for their quick actions, saying protocol was followed perfectly.
SFPD responded immediately, and our staff followed secured protocols immediately.
Still, many students told me the experience had rocked them and will linger long after the school day ends.
I'm really happy my dad came for me because I didn't want to stay in school.
Moving around the Bay now for headlines in your community. Teachers in San Francisco Unified are scheduled to vote today on whether they will authorize a strike or not. Union leaders say after 8 months of bargaining with the district, they have yet to come to a contract deal. So if this vote passes, it gives the union the authority to call a strike in the future if an agreement isn't reached. It's really a procedural step. We've reached out to SF Unified for comments. We're still waiting to hear back. The man found guilty of a deadly attack on a San Francisco grandmother is expected to spend the rest of his life in prison. A judge will finalize a double life sentence for Keontae Gathron today. He was found guilty of beating 88-year-old Yik Oi Huang at a Visitation Valley playground back in 2019. She later died from her injuries sustained in that attack. Police say Gathron was responsible for a 2-week violent crime spree that mostly targeted vulnerable Asian American seniors. A former East Bay police officer is headed to prison. Former Antioch officer Devin Wenger's sentencing comes after a major scandal that rocked the police department over several years. Wenger will serve 7.5 years for conspiring with other officers to use excessive force on residents and to distribute illegal steroids. This all comes after a years-long investigation that surrounded dozens of racist and homophobic messages between officers, targeting both suspects and local leaders. It ultimately led to a wider federal overhaul of the police department. Cleanup efforts continue this morning after a dramatic crash in Oakland. An AC Transit bus slammed into an auto body shop Tuesday after colliding with an SUV and jumping the curb. Chopper 5 shows about a third of that bus wedged inside of that building as crews worked to secure the damaged structure. This is a look right now at some of the surveillance footage of the moment the bus veered off the road and barreled into the shop. That happened just after 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon at 66th and Foothill. So how did it happen? Witnesses say the bus hit a white SUV that tried to make an illegal U-turn, and the situation spiraled from there. 4 people were sent to the hospital for minor injuries. Nobody was inside the building. No one inside the building was hurt. We did hear from the auto shop's owner who rushed to help when the crash happened. Listen.
We were in the back of the shop working on some cars, and we just heard 3 loud bangs. It sounded like a bomb at first. We had to help like 8 people off the bus. We had to break the windows to get the people out. It was really scary. Yeah, I ain't never seen nothing like this in my life.
The Oakland Fire Department says the building will need to be evaluated by a structural engineer. Bay Area air regulators just slapped Chevron with a hefty fine. Nearly $1 million because of problems at its Richmond refinery. The Air District says Chevron failed to properly monitor emissions at the site. During an audit, they say 20 monitors were not set up correctly. Regulators told Chevron to fix them, but the company missed the deadline, triggering the $900,000 fine. Chevron says it has since made all of the required upgrades. New rules are going into effect for homeowners in Marin County, meant to cut down wildfire risk. They involve doing away with wood exteriors altogether. It'll no doubt spark debate, but as John Ramos reports, it is also leading to innovation in fire-safe construction.
It's called WUI, short for Wildland Urban Interface, and so many people have chosen to build their homes among the trees that places like Marin are scrambling to prevent a catastrophic wildfire.
We create defensible space and fire breaks. And then we also, in the building codes, look at hardening the envelopes of structures. And by hardening, I mean looking at the materials that we use for roofs, windows, and siding.
In November, Marin officials voted to align their fire codes with that of the state, banning any new home construction with wood siding in WUI areas within their jurisdiction. What's not clear now is what those homes will be made of.
They are coming out with products more and more because this is an issue.
You know, to do what they're suggesting is going to have to be kind of more of a modern type look, I think. If somebody did something like that here, it's really going to stand out. People would probably would frown on it.
Joe Famali has lived in the hills above San Rafael for more than 35 years and takes fire prevention seriously. He recently removed all the flammable juniper bushes in front of his home and likes the look of the new metal gate that completes the Zone Zero surrounding his home.
I think it's a good thing to do from a fire safe standpoint, plus aesthetically, it's a lot better than the wood gate that I had.
But he wonders whether the residents would be willing to give up the warmth that wood siding brings to a home.
The wood look is kind of what seems to fit in the neighborhood here. I don't know what, I can't see a modern house in the neighborhood. It would definitely stand out.
But if necessity is the mother of invention, Clough Construction is helping with the delivery. The company, which built Joe's new gate, specializes in decking with an eye to fire prevention. And owner Scott Clough says the construction industry has made huge strides in producing materials that resist burning without being an eyesore.
10, 15 years ago, there was hardly any choices. You know, if you didn't have a stucco house, they were pretty much all wood. So I think the construction industry has pushed it, along with the insurance industry, to make it more fire resistant.
For example, this material made from PVC looks and feels like wood, but won't rot or turn gray like early forms of composite decking. And there's no reason the same material couldn't be used for exterior siding as well.
And that's what is attracting people a little bit more, is that it's not the ugly old composite that it used to be.
You know, right now we've got a lot of support in our community around home hardening, and we want to maintain that support, you know, every step of the way.
The county understands they need buy-in from the residents, so they're taking a cautious approach, hoping demand will continue to spur innovation to produce building materials that people will be proud to adopt.
So right now, the regulation only applies to new home construction. The board did stop short of extending it to home remodels. It is 6:40 on this Wednesday morning. It has been more than 11 years since a Malaysia Airlines flight disappeared from the skies. And now another search to find the wreckage is about to be launched. We'll have the details ahead. And you might notice more of them when it comes to holiday wish lists, the demand over health tracking tech, and what you should know before you make that big purchase. Developing news this morning, New Orleans is bracing for a federal immigration crackdown. The Department of Homeland Security announced it is deploying 250 agents to Louisiana today as a part of an immigration enforcement operation they are calling Swamp Sweep. New Orleans is the latest city with Democratic leadership to be targeted by federal immigration raids. Officials say the operation goal is to arrest 5,000 people. Watching live video from our many monitors now that bring us headlines from across the globe, the search for Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 is starting up once again. Malaysia's government just announced a new deep-sea mission that launches on December 30th. A marine robotics firm called Ocean Infinity will lead the 55-day effort focused on targeting areas in the Indian Ocean. The plane vanished back in 2014, shortly after takeoff. Investigators believe it crashed somewhere off the radar, but to this day, it has never been found. A doctor who admitted to distributing ketamine to drug-addicted actor Matthew Perry weeks before he died is set to be sentenced in Los Angeles today. Dr. Salvador Plasencia faces up to 40 years in prison and a $2 million fine. In an impact statement, Perry's grieving family called the doctor among the most culpable of all. The Federal Aviation Administration just called out major airlines for flying more than they were allowed to during the government shutdown. In warning letters, the agency says those extra flights could lead to fines of up to $75,000 each. The FAA has not named which airlines got the notices. Looking live at SFO this morning, things are calm for now, but expect the holiday travel rush to pick up again as we get closer to Christmas. The Thanksgiving holiday travel period was one for the record books at SFO. Officials say from Thursday, November 20th through Monday, December 1st, SFO saw over 1.8 million travelers. That broke a record for the airport set back in 2019. Time now for a look at what's coming up later on CBS Mornings. Tony DeCopel joins us live now from New York. Tony, good morning to you.
Good morning, Max. Coming up on CBS Mornings, imagine this, parents. You can pick your future child's gender, hair color. How about relative intelligence? All that and much, much more is on the table. We talked to the founder and CEO of a company letting parents do a whole heck of a lot they couldn't do before. We also look at the ethical questions around all of this embryo DNA screening. Plus, Nate swam with the sharks. Now he's hitting the beach with Nathan Florence, one of the world's most fearless big wave surfers. He's a two-time Surfer of the Year. He talks about how danger actually fuels his success. He's not without fear. He just manages and channels it. Also, in our Road to the Grammys series, you're going to meet the Grammy award-winning DJ drawing tens of thousands out to the dance floor with international music sets. Very cool. All that and more coming up, 7 o'clock.
Looking forward to it. Thank you for that update, Tony. Let's give you a live look now outside on this Wednesday morning here at home in the Bay Area. A beautiful shot from Salesforce. Another stunner of a sunrise. Jess, again,
Yes.
a loss for words every single time I get surprised by one of these beautiful sunrises on this morning.
I like the little touch of red on this one,
Yeah.
too.
Fiery.
Yeah. It's a spicy day. All right, here's what's happening for us as we head outside. It's cold out there. In all reality, I want to show you what's happening for us as we head out the door before you even leave the front door. Grab the jacket, bundle up, because we're sitting in the 40s widespread throughout the East Bay. Some low 50s all the way down into the Santa Clara Valley near San Jose. We have 40s and 50s along our coastal communities, 40s stretched up into wine country too. We want to talk about some other things going on for us. We mentioned this earlier, but just along the coastline and along the mouth of the bay, you're seeing two different colors right there, that blue and that green. Well, we still have beach hazard statements issued by the National Weather Service, meaning we can see waves anywhere up to around 10 to 14 feet high. Rip currents are possible too, so be very mindful of that. King tides have returned too along our coastal communities, so you see that green color in the mouth of San Francisco, just along the bay shoreline. That is just a good reminder that if you live or if you commute throughout those low-lying areas, it's possible that we could see some localized flooding in these communities, especially up in the North Bay. If you think about it, that drive from Marin all the way over into Napa along that shoreline, be very careful there too. Now, as we head into the afternoon hours today, we have 60s in the forecast for us, anywhere from San Jose off into the East Bay, stretched into wine country too. It's a very mild forecast for us as we head outside today, tomorrow, lasting into this weekend too. And we're not going to see too much of a change, actually. I mean, just look at the next 7 days alone. Upper 50s flirting with lower 60s, partly cloudy skies, not a drop of rain in sight for us as we head into the next 7 days. And that's kind of the way we like it, right? This gives us an opportunity to get out there and get some fresh air. We kick off this weekend with sunnier skies, too, which is a great invite to get outside. We head all the way over into our inland spots. I'm going to pull up the map just real fast, and I'm going to show you we're not really seeing too much of a change, really. From the bay all the way off into our inland microclimates, this is the time of year where we're all hand in hand. So not a lot of a difference, not much of a difference, I should say, as we head into the next 7 days. We're going to keep you updated on that here in the Weather Center. Now over to you, Max.
All right, thank you for that, Jess. Let's take a ride over to our traffic map now. We are starting at the Altamont Pass, where slow and go at this hour, speeds down to about 15 miles an hour, likely because of some fog affecting both eastbound and westbound 580 between Vasco and Grant Line. So if you're heading through that stretch, expect delays. Let's move over to Union City now. There's a crash on southbound 880 at the Industrial Parkway exit. The right lane is currently blocked, so traffic is backing up through the area. In the South Bay, we are tracking another hot spot. This one is on northbound 101 just before the Oakland Road exit. There's an accident that's blocking the right-hand lane there as well. Some better news. Beautiful live look at the Golden Gate Bridge. Traffic is moving smoothly there. No delays to report heading into the city or into Marin County today. That is a look at your morning commute. Well, as Americans shop for gifts and gadgets this holiday season, there is a special kind of tech that is trending among many wish lists. Wearable tech that focuses on wellness, like the Apple Watch. Evan Moon looks at the trends and what you should know before you buy.
This season, some Americans are trading toys and TVs for wellness-focused tech. Wearable gadgets like smart rings, bands, and watches are among the most popular gifts.
I have the Rincon Gen 2 right now, and I love it so much. I'm actually going to get it for my sister for Christmas.
Users can track exercise, heart rate, sleep, and stress, and even detect medical conditions in real time. New York's Mount Sinai Hospital now has a wearables lab where Dr. Zahi Fayyad tests the latest devices.
What are you wearing right now?
I'm wearing a Garmin watch. I'm wearing a Polar band. I'm wearing a Whoop band. And then finally, I have an Oura ring.
The lab focuses on validating the health benefits of commercial devices. And Dr. Fayyad says the data can be transformative.
24-hour, 7 days a week, 365 days during the year. You're getting health information similar to what you will be able to get or you get usually in the clinic. I think that's fantastic.
Recent retail tracking data from Circana shows spending on fitness trackers in 2025 grew 88% from 1 year ago.
Stores like Best Buy are stock full of these items, and they're flying off shelves, from smart wristbands to rings, even smart glasses. And I'm told this technology had a surge after the COVID pandemic.
Harvard sleep scientist Rebecca Robbins says 1 in 4 Americans now track their sleep, too.
If you wake up and you get a bad reading from your sleep tracker, it automatically prompts this process of reflection. What did I do yesterday?
But Robin says users shouldn't let the numbers keep them up at night.
Don't worry, the technology is improving every day, but it is still not perfect.
Both researchers agree. If you find one of these gadgets under your tree, they could put you on track to improved health.
Let's give you a live look now at San Francisco's City Hall. There's a festive night ahead in the Bay Area. In San Francisco, the Civic Center holiday tree lights up at 5:30. In Sausalito, you can join a community sing-along and watch Santa arrive by boat. That begins at 5:30. And in the East Bay, the Lights Up Piedmont celebration kicks off at 6 o'clock. That's at Community Hall. 6:52 on this Wednesday morning. She is still going strong at 98 years young. The food bank volunteer inspiring others coming up. Let's take you live outside for another look at the beautiful sunrise, by the way. I keep pausing just because I keep getting stunned by this. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's now time for your Moneywatch report. Just over the last several minutes or so, we've started to watch the big board begin to tick up in the green. Now up just a very small amount, but just about a minute ago, it was a slightly red start to the day. So maybe things are beginning to turn around. We'll keep our eyes on that. Costco is suing the Trump administration in the U.S. Court of International Trade. The retail giant wants a full refund of the duties it had to pay on imported goods if the Supreme Court rules against the president's tariffs. Costco is joining a growing list of companies claiming the president lacked the legal authority to impose import duties without congressional approval. The Trump administration is pressing the Supreme Court to let the tariffs stand. Amazon wants to get your groceries and essentials to your door faster than ever. The company just launched Amazon Now in parts of Seattle and Philadelphia. They're promising deliveries in 30 minutes or less. Prime members would pay $3.99 per order, while non-members would shell out $13.99. Thousands of everyday items, apparently, are going to be eligible. A Texas GameStop just set a record with its biggest trade-in ever, all for a single Pokemon card. A customer turned in a rare PSA 10 Holo Gengar, valued at nearly $34,000. That customer walked out with just over $30,000 in cash. GameStop now touting the deal as proof its trade-in program can pay off. Tuesday was all about giving. People were in the spirit of generosity, helping food banks that are seeing a surge in demand. And this morning, we'd like to introduce you to a woman with a few years of experience giving back without ever expecting anything in return.
Tell him anything, please.
A trip to Second Harvest's food distribution site at Our Lady of Refuge in San Jose has become a regular task for Soledad Rodriguez, who goes by Smokey.
Like Queen Mary.
But to this woman, 98 years young, it's not a chore. It's a privilege.
Right now, there's so many people out in the street that are living under trees.
She counts her blessings.
My dad taught us to be grateful and to be thankful.
And as her father did, she lives to give.
Sometimes he would go buy a big pig, cook it in the dirt, and go share it with everybody.
When Smokey and her son cook, they don't just make dinner for their table. They'll frequently make enough to give to people who are less fortunate and in need of a helping hand. And usually, that means making a trip to the Guadalupe River or the public library on Tully Road.
There's so many people that need help. Just with love and affection is all what they need. Potatoes, onions.
On this evening, her son made a few stops. Ask the people who are the beneficiaries of Smokey and her son's kindness.
It's hard out here, but I mean, for somebody to drop off some food, I mean, that's a start for us, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go.
Smokey is an inspiration to so many at Second Harvest of Silicon Valley, which now serves 1 in 6 people across San Mateo and Santa Clara counties.
So Smokey, who you just met today, is one of those people who we serve, but also who graciously gives back. She comes to the food distribution site, gets food, and delivers it out in the community, which is something that's just part of who she is, and it's just a wonderful thing to see.
Your house is beautiful.
Smokey finds joy and purpose through service.
Heavenly Father, thank you for the blessings.
And her compassion certainly is contagious. In her golden years, Smokey likes to live by the golden rule. treat others the way you want to be treated.
To be treated the way we want to be treated. So, I mean, that's the best thing in life, right?
And she has no plans of slowing down on her mission to do just that. What a wonderful individual. And if you are feeling in the giving spirit after that story, we are partnering with local food banks for our annual Food for Bay Area Families Food Drive. If you want to help, scan the QR code on your screen or head to kpix.com/give. Coming up when we see you on Pix Plus 44 Cable 12, OpenAI CEO is declaring a code red as it faces competition from Google. We're live with PC Mag's senior reporter Emily Forlini on more on what this means for the AI race as it heats up. And let's take you live outside for another beautiful shot of the sunrise. We'll see you on Pix Plus 44 Cable 12.